put my buy right here and my stop about right here. So both of these are actually going down right now. Uh, Now we broke below the trend tracer. For some reason, this idiot indicator gave a bullish signal there. It was totally wrong. So I'll figure out what that is because I'm not going to use it. But what you got right here is this is what I love. You got your order block down here, right? And it's got 19% strength, which means it shows you the exact volume sitting there. Now here's our equilibrium. And you can tell that this has been our equilibrium because look, we bounce, we bounce, we bounce. Finally, we break through and we have to push really hard to break through. So to break through here, we're going to have to push just as hard. And that's what's happened every time. It's been a big drop. It had a change of character. Big drop, went all the way down to this bottom order block, equal lows. And now we're touching that equilibrium again. I assume this is going to turn green here in a minute, but right now it won't. I want to see if we will actually go down here and tap this again. I doubt it because we're making higher highs, lower lows. That's a lower high on the long scale here, right? But I'm looking at this trend that's forming right now, and in a second, if this keeps going up, that's what the trend or the price action concept indicator is going to give me. But see how it says ranging here? Volatility is moderate, means we're not getting a lot of volume, and we're just kind of just ranging for the moment. And we're in a 100% squeeze. So that means that we're stuck in this range. And if I go to the daily chart, it'll kind of show that, right? Look, look how bad we're squeezing. We're stuck in a range. And we want to wait for that breakout and be very patient. We don't have to jump into the trade to catch a breakout or do anything like that. Just has to kind of be take your time, wait for the right moment. I'm going to look for this signal to come down right when we get here. Potentially, we're getting into a discount area right here. There's your premium. So I'd be looking for shorts up here, and I'm looking for longs down here. And we've broken below this equilibrium. I'd probably expect this candle to be a little bit stronger because we broke the equilibrium. But it's by VWAP, and it's kind of tough. And we're really past like prime volume hours, so that's part of it as well. And if you have any questions about the indicator, just let me know. I'll be glad to answer them. Trying to see where the chat is on this thing now. I don't see it. Am I using the wrong screen? No, I'm not. Yeah. I need to share the other screen. No wonder. Now on the recording, I'm trading in the right screen. Let's go here. Change windows. We want the NQ window. There we go. Sorry, I was in the wrong screen. So you were looking at ES and my Discord. But all right, so what I was talking about is we have a discount zone down here. This is where price action is going to be favorable into getting long. Up here is where price action is going to be favorable into getting short. You see the strong high at 90%. You got 45,000 shares sitting there. They're going to protect that with their lives, right? Because they're going to get stopped out somewhere right here. And then this market's going to go boom, boom, all the way up to the previous week high. But right now we're at equilibrium. Makes sense. We want to see what we do at equilibrium. This is a very, very good equilibrium signal catcher to me. I've looked at the equilibrium on multiple days now, and it's pretty damn valid. I mean, we bounce up and down. If we're ranging, we'll go up and down through that equilibrium a lot. But it also presents really good scalping opportunities in a market where you normally wouldn't be able to scalp, or you would be confused about how to scalp because obviously you just don't know where. I mean, you can have your equilibrium on a chart, but this is really AI back tested. This is an AI improved model. It's constantly being improved by LuxAlgo. Um, so I'm really impressed by this. It looks like a lot of shit on a chart. Um, but once you get to understand it, these are little fair value gaps. These red lines right here, you can see that those are fair value gaps created by the impulse moves of the bears. And they typically get filled. Um, Here's a huge one, right? There's a huge fair value gap. This does not retrace. It's not a retraceable indicator, which is one thing that I like about it. It will definitely not retrace. Now see, there you go. That's the line I was waiting for. And now look, there's this line. So this is a descending triangle. I want it to break out of this, and you see how this is a weak low. It's only got like 32,000 shares on it. Up here we got 45,000 defending, saying, hey, 90%, we should be going south. But this can break out either way. But when it turns blue, that's when you're in a bullish run, and that's when you should be definitely, if it's matching up with the trend tracer, you should be getting your money in right there. So now we got another signal right here that's descending. That'll probably come right around here. Price action's probably going to go right here. I could take a short off this equilibrium and probably make some money, but I'm not going to. I'd rather be patient and book $1,000 trade off of contrarian signal or a breakout below this signal. But these are strong reversal zones right here. These waves right here, these are where you really need to think about, hey man, I might be in the wrong place. I might want to jump in a long right here. I was hoping that I was going to be able to take a bullish trade on this starting out because it was really getting bullish. And then I had some mess ups with my headphones on recording. So we are in a 100% squeeze. There's nothing to do right now except sit on your hands. If you did anything else, you're just a bad trader because we're squeezing. What I'll look for right here is it will give me a green dot, and that says, hey, it's starting to show me that it's getting strength right here. You see this arrow, the signal oscillator, but this is still very bright red. So it means like most of our activity is on the bottom right here. It's very bright red, no sense in touching it. Um, and so we're just going to leave it where we're sitting right now. I love the indicator because it gives me my previous day high, previous week high, previous month high, and there should be somewhere up here a previous quarterly high. Um, so it has all of that built in, and also your lows, right? And it keeps to a Monday high. So sometimes we really do just gravitate back to this Monday high, but there's our previous day low. So you can see that we have a wide range that we can actually hit here. Um, but I don't doubt that we could come back and test this Monday high. Like, it's just been so magnetic with the market. And this is all 2 minute. Let me go to 15 minute and show you. It's very magnetic. Boom, 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 boom. So, and you can tell on the 15 minute, we're just in a downward spiral right now. I forgot how to get all the way back over there, but anyway. And we're continuing to drop. We didn't break this trend line, just like LuxAlgo's telling us. I mean, we could have took a short right here and made over $2,000 on one contract. But when you're squeezing, right? You don't want to be in the squeeze ever. There's another value gap, very minor one that's drawn, but it's there and it's gone now. See, we filled that fair value gap. So that means that there is a gap in price right here and right here that the market will most likely go back and fill. Remember, this does not retrace. So here's a fair value gap from yesterday that maybe the market's coming down here to hit the fill, like where my line is right here. There's a fair value gap actually from this morning that could be getting filled. And then we come back up and hit these. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for like a nice bullish signal right now. I mean, ranging is the word right now. That's why you don't have to guess, right? You're not guessing on like where the market's going. It pretty much freaking tells you. Volume sentiment. I mean, the more that this gets negative, the more we're getting bearish. This will turn positive as we get bullish. And then our trend tracer is also red. You can see that this green arrow has disappeared and turned into a little dot because the market strength has went down. The darker, the more brighter this bar is, the more likelier we are to keep going down. But what I'm looking for is for this to to paint all the way out right here. And let's see if we bounce off of this, and I would get out at this gap level or the equilibrium level. But I'd like to see a bounce right here. We've rejected VWAP, so the market has not really decided where it's going because we're still at equilibrium. Um, and we want to break out a strong breakout from VWAP. We don't want a weak breakout from VWAP. It's no good for us. There's no point in having it. Also, if you don't have a Richard Simmons talking bobblehead, see, it's one of the most important things in the world. You need to get one. He only gives me good advice. Right, so it looks like we're going to hit that gap right there, knock it out, go touch VWAP again and test it. Just ranging, but the volume sentiment is still to the downside. Now, no liquidity. I mean, we took some liquidity right here, but really no liquidity was taken. I mean, this is just, we're taking liquidity from right here, but what we want to see is major liquidity taking off of these. And it's good to look at, I go from the 2 to the 15 minute because I want to see the long term, like what we're looking at here. And wow, look at the volume there. So I'm going to draw a line right here. It's going to be orange, so it sticks out. I know it doesn't belong to anything else. You see how we got signals right here to tell us to buy. Those are buy signals, which would have been incorrect. But you can see the buy signal right here was spot on. And so I don't take any buy signals above this midline. I take the buy signals all the way down at the bottom. And I really like the 15-minute chart right now because it's showing bullish. You can see the trend tracer is actually showing bullish, even though we're under the trend tracer and we're under VWAP. But we're saying, hey, look, we've made a lower low, we've made a higher high. There is equal lows right here. So maybe at these equal lows, look, we're going to take another bounce, or maybe we don't even hit the equal lows because they've been grossly protected right here. So I'm going to draw one more horizontal line right here. And then I'm going to go back to my 2-minute. And there you can see it goes right into where the order block is. Um, there's the change of character. So all very good information you can take from this. Don't be surprised we go up here and hit this spot on and drop again. But this indicator's, I mean, it's got a lot of moving parts, no doubt. Now you see the green dot show up right there. I'm not taking that green dot. I'm not taking that green dot. That green dot don't mean shit. That green dot means nothing. Hey Corey, nice to see you. Oh, Axe is here too. Crap. Man, maybe I should look at the chat. Okay, no one's chatted anything good. Um, so just kind of
Hey, how's it going?
hey man, what's up? So I'm just
Good.
showing how this thing's going. I'm recording it for you guys. Yeah, man, I haven't been online in a long time because I had to go to the drawing board and really just figure my shit out and learn futures like the hardcore way. I mean, probably wasting $20,000 doing it. Um, so yeah, I put my own money in. I did it the same thing way the same way I did options, man. It's just kept applying money until kept paying tuition is what I call it. But I've been on a pretty damn positive streak for a long time now. One thing I will show you because Chin definitely saw it. But as I'm using this, I'm only trading NQ in my personal cash account, but in my funded starter plus account, which has no consistency rule, you only have a consistency rule during the eval. And if you use there's a uh, coupon code called Tanya, Tanja. If you use that, you get 25% off of a starter plus account. You got a 50% consistency rule, so make $1,500 in 2 days, which is what I do. I typically trade 3 contracts to do that. And then you get this Starter Plus account, and the Starter Plus account, um, once you get funded, there's no consistency rule. I can run this up to $4,000 today, and as long as I make 100 or two, I think it's $100 a day after that after 5 days, I can pull the money out. Now, the max withdrawal on this account is $2,000 for the first 30 days, which is not a big deal. But just as you know, the reason why prop firms do that on the first 30 days is because the average prop firm funded account lasts 28 days. That is the average lifespan of a prop fund funded account. So if you got people that are always saying, "Oh, look, I'm funded and I've been funded and blah 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 blah," no, it's not true. The average funded account lasts 28 days. That is a fact. And I am living proof of that. I blow funded accounts constantly. I take a lot of risk on the funded accounts. I've pulled out a lot of money from the funded accounts, as you can see in the Discord. Um, and then I've pulled 2,000 out of this account so far since I put 3,000 in it. So this is really at 63.29. Um, and I started with $3,000 in it. I'm just trying to build it up now. My liquidity is fine in my personal bank accounts and all that good stuff, so I'm not worried about that. But let's get started back. Here we go on the equilibrium. We're testing VWAP again. If I get a breakout right here, most likely I'm going to take it because we would be above equilibrium. It's going to turn the trend tracer green. On the 15-minute, trend tracer is already green, as you'll see, right? And it's going to fill the fair value gap, right? If it fills that fair value gap, good deal. It's going to go up to this previous day high. And I'm going to mark right here that this is going to be my exit. And all I use is orange lines, guys. I don't do anything else except use these orange lines to define places where I possibly will enter and exit. And see, I could have got a good entry right here. This was an equal low. Um, and so as you can see, it's kind of turning different colors. Sometimes it'll be purple, which is it's like a, I don't really know what the purple means yet, but I like green. I want to see green. And I want to see it on multiple time frames. I just don't want to see it on the 15-minute. I want the 2-minute to go ahead and turn green. And if it does, if it breaks out of this, if it breaks out of this right here, it will turn green. But right now, like I said, we're in a very big squeeze. You look at the daily chart, we're squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Chances are we've already created this fair value gap right here with an impulse move from yesterday. I don't know if we're going to go back and fill that. This is the only thing I use the daily chart for, but you can see we're ranging, right? This is a symmetrical pattern. And so there's a gap up here that I marked, fair value gap. Um, and so I need to kind of move that. And it has filled in a little bit. So that will be, something I look for that it will mark later on once we get closer to it. All right. So let's go 15 minutes, still looking shitty. Just a rangy day because we had that big move yesterday. But now look on the 15-minute. We have this higher high, lower low, come back down here. We hit somewhere around here. I'm definitely going all in. I'm gonna go bullish, but I don't think we're gonna get there. I mean, looking at this 2-minute right here, we got order blocks galore. Order block, order block. See this fair value gap? So probably what we will want to see is what we saw here. This is going to gap up through to fill the rest of this. Oop, now we're above this. Now we're above this. And now we went below it. Strong red signals. It told you to go in right here, right? Gave me a bullish signal. But like I said, I don't. This is where I want to see the oscillator giving me that signal. I mean, I definitely do. But just knowing price action, I'm not going to take that signal yet. Now, if I would have taken it, shit, depending on where I got in at, I could have made some money, but it just would have been a quick scalp, and I'm a trend trader, so not looking for the quick scalp today. Also, you'll see that I'm $10 down on my P&L. I took a bad $400 hit over here, got back in and got the $400 back because I underestimated one of these candles. I can't remember which one at this point. Um, thought we were going to go up and we didn't. Yeah, right here. Yeah, it got me. Yep, we're busting below equilibrium. Now, right here is a place that I could potentially take a short, but I'm looking at this higher low, right? I mean, we made it higher low, that's obvious. But we're also making a lower high unless this comes back up and does something. So all it means is this sumbitch is squeezing. It's squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And it may just go all the way over to right here. And then we're going to break out, I guarantee, within the next hour. We'll break out. My guess, it'll be top side. My options contract wants it to be bottom side. Here we go. Like I said, could have took a short there and kill it. Now it's telling me, giving me a short signal. I don't pay attention to those. Uh-oh, let's see if I got a work meeting I'm supposed to be in. Nope. Okay, so this blue, you see how I drew this blue little box right here? That means that liquidity is being taken. That's what that stands for. Anytime I see that blue box, they are telling me that someone is making a heavy push to potentially take liquidity and move this up. Now, just got to break a structure, right? So what typically happens, right? It will take liquidity. Let's see how far this goes down. It'll draw that blue box again if it's going to take that liquidity. But now you can look, we're turning red over here, right? See everything going red, going green again, but still just staying within this little range and getting tighter and tighter. There's a liquidity move again, right? It's still saying that this looks like a potential liquidity to the algo. And this algo, man, is the most back-tested algo I've ever seen. It is sharp. I paid for the ultimate membership was $119 a month. Um, I was averaging about $1,000 a day trading, by myself. Yesterday I did over 2,000 in prop firm um, and my funded my cash account here that you can see that I also have my account number on, but I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares? I trust everyone. I've always been very transparent. Even when I suck, I say I suck. Come on. I like that liquidity box right there. It stayed. It says that maybe someone's protecting price there now because they bought in and they took a bunch of liquidity from this group. They grab liquidity from here. Now they've grabbed liquidity from here. There's a possibility that we'll still go down and grab liquidity right here and then make that move up. Now, if we see a higher high, like coming in right here, I'll put a trade in for right there. Actually, it'll probably be a little bit up here, but I get aggressive. I ain't gonna lie. I usually put it right there. I don't put it, you can see I'm still would be quite a bit off from that marker. Let's see, that's 2187. Yeah, I would be 2 points above that. I like to keep it about 2 points above that because sometimes they'll just want to get those stops. Um, and so I keep it a little bit higher. I don't get right on that line because they like to take a little bit of stop out and then they'll just drop it, dead cat bounce you, and that's never fun. But you can see we're forming a descending pattern here for sure. It looks very bearish, but we're busting out of this first one. And what I like is I don't have to worry about my trend lines. Like, this is more accurate and my trend lines are on point. Like, I think Jacques will be able to tell you that my trend lines have always been on point, but this thing draws better trend lines than I do. It gives me way more trend lines actually. It's actually how you're supposed to use trend lines in the strat as well. So we got two down, two down. Now we got a two up, two up. So this is a potential reversal right here. Right here, you see the doji candle. They took liquidity. Um, we're looking at a possible reversal, like it did here. Just look at the pattern. It's the same. This is the same pattern. We're just repeating this pattern again, unless it does something else. And you can tell how strong that trend line is, right? It's fighting because it's right at the equilibrium, and there's VWAP above it, and we've already rejected VWAP. So the bears are fighting some fairly weak bulls at this point because I think the bulls are really gathering up this liquidity. They're going to let price action come down here again, maybe get some more liquidity, and then they're going to send this thing to the moon. But they did grab a shit ton of liquidity on two spots. They've grabbed it. And there we go. So we made a lower high if this does not go high. Now, the strat would tell you to go ahead and hop in once the price action gets above here, and then you could get out about right here and take a quick scalp. At least the strat tool I use. Let's see. Let's see what it would say. Yeah, see? Look, it tell you right here. Go ahead and get it. Take that 2-2, and then you would get out right there. Not making a lower low so far. Uh, that's significant. But it's an equal high at this point for the previous candle. I really want to take a long position right here. I mean, I feel like this is a strong, um, potentially strong move coming. You see our range strength is starting to go green. Volatility is low. It's not bad to trade in low volatility, right? I mean, you have time to make decisions. You have time to think about where you're at. I mean, there's not as much volume, um, but it does give you a little bit more time to react, especially if you're struggling as a trader. Um, I make a lot of money, as the market opens and in the mornings, but I also make a lot of money during lunchtime because of the volatility levels. I just have way more time to react as a individual investor. So, uh, I think that, man, that really does explain the tool. It draws trend lines, right? If I take out this signals and overlays, you can see a little bit of the stuff disappears, things that I like to use, but I really have just been using this price action concepts with almost everything activated, minus a few things that I didn't like. But the signals and overlays give me that trend tracer, and I really enjoy the trend tracer. And it's right at VWAP right now. That's not normal for it to be at VWAP, and it's been at VWAP for a long time. So we're just squeezing. Now we were at 100% squeeze. Now we're at a 98.72% squeeze, leaning bullish, but our volume is still really bearish. And actually, it's getting even worse. This will turn green too. This will turn green. It's just telling you, I don't know exactly what that means, but this turns green and red just as well as the other thing. It says estimate the optimal sensitivity setting for the most recent 250 bars. I guess that's saying, hey, like we've been bearish for a while, which is true. I'm gonna look up most of these terms. I'm still learning this tool. It's very robust, I will say that much. I like to use it for this to say, "Hell, man, like when I get up here, I know I'm getting out. There's no doubt that I won't keep a long position above here." Yesterday, it blew right through it, but I still got out. Like I wasn't taking a chance. And this little green one right here, I mean, you can see the strat working. I mean, we haven't dropped below here yet, and your stop would be like right below here. Very, very short stop if you did use a strat. Um, but we would go to about right here if the strat's going to work out on this play. That's why I like the strat. You have a really tight stop, right? Once you get right here, you're fucking out. Right here, right below this, the not the wick, but the actual candle itself, candle body, you would be out. At least that's how I play it. And the main thing that you need to focus on is just not losing your money, man. Like that's the most important thing. So I'm gonna put my take profit. I want to match it to right here. And I've been known to slide my take profits up, so just to let you know. I'm actually going to move this up a little bit because I think now if we did break this, it's going to be around here. I mean, I'm thinking we're going to go test this again though. I do. And you can see this lower low. We didn't break this lower low. And there's a liquidity bar, that blue right there. Yeah, I think we're getting bullish here. I'm gonna stop shorting options. Like every time I short options, I get murdered. Every time I go long on options, I kill it. Oh, and this big, huge candle right here is kind of our range. So as you can see, right, we dip below the range a little bit, but this big, huge candle is one of our ranges. When you see that candle, you know that we need to break out of that for the market to make a significant move. That candle is what has trapped us into a squeeze. There's a fair value gap that was formed from the impulse move down, but it's going to fill and that red line will go away. There it goes. And NQ moved so fast, it didn't look like it filled it, but that's what happened. It popped up, popped down, took it out. But you can see it's still respecting that weak trend signal right there. That's a minor one. This is your trend line. This is your pattern. So understand the difference. This is the pattern that I'm looking to break out of. It's a descending triangle. So it's telling me most likely we're going to go here and probably go down. I don't think that's going to happen. Um, but I think that we're going to pop out of this descending triangle and go up. But so far we have grossly respected the trend line. Even right here, we have respected it. We haven't came even close to hitting that one. Order block sitting right here for us to get in. Maybe some of these bulls will join in once we hit here and start testing maybe some liquidity, and boom, we go up. I don't really know what this little bar is yet. These little two little things. Let's see what that would be. Just looks like a more equilibrium type. Oh no, that's for my volume. That's my volume average. Something. It doesn't have nothing to do with my chart. I want to see. I'll take that off. Oh, it must be in. Huh. Yeah, that must be in built into the LuxAlgo algorithm. So I'll have to look at that and see what that is. I don't know what that is yet. I'm sure it's like a long-term average over some bars. Still squeezing like a son of a gun though. So if we break out, I managed to make, $840. Let's look at what I would do on the south end here if I take a breakout from here. I mean, still, 21 points is going to be good with two contracts. Ooh, made a lower low. And the best time frame I've found to use this on is the 2 minute, to be honest. I haven't, it's what Patrick Whelan uses, or Weiland, whatever his name is. And so I really like using it on the 2 minute. And then I go back and look at the 15, and then I go over here to look at my ES chart, and I'll show you the ES chart, how different it looks. So as you can see, we're kind of doing a broadening wedge pattern. ES is looking uh, rangy as well.
But ES is coming into some significant spots right here. And so we're getting into an order block that could turn the tide. And you can see the liquidity was taken by the bulls right here. Look at that liquidity. Boom. ES would have been a good trade right there because we actually did hit an order block zone, and that's why NQ performed the way it did. I wasn't looking at NQ. So, or I wasn't looking at ES whenever I was looking at NQ, and I should have been, or I would have taken that signal actually. All right, we broke out. There's the breakout. I want to see a breakout of VWAP, possibly a retest, and then it'll go up into here, and it'll take me up. I usually allow for like about $300, $400 stops. I'm gonna change this to one contract just because of the volatility is super low. It's squeezing. There's just reasons why I don't want to risk a lot on this trade. One thing that AMP has done that I love, they allowed for bracketing, which is a must-have for me now. Like I just love the bracketing feature. Getting close, dude. I want to move this up a little bit more. I don't want it to be right on that. I want it to break actually out of the descending triangle. Allow it to give it a little room to test VWAP right here. And I'm looking over at ES right now, and it's not even hitting its broadening wedge top yet. So we should encounter some heavy resistance um, before we hit any of this. And there's ES has got some major bearish activity. Like the bears don't want to move up right now. So we got to be cognizant of that. And if this starts going crazy, you'll see me start sliding this up, moving my stop loss, up to here. I might get like buy another one right here once that gap gets filled. I would put another buy just market order right there, and then I would sell one here and allow it to run up to here. Okay, there we go. We got a green, first green in a while. Look, it hit my line, didn't fill it, thank God. Change of character, which is what I wanted to see. That's why I tell you to put it a little bit above the fucking lines. Because if you don't, and it decides to drop now, you're just in a shitload of trouble. I'm gonna put my stop loss below VWAP. See how it says we're taking liquidity on the red side now? The bears are trying to take some liquidity because we're at the top right here. They don't want to break out of this trend. Bears have been enjoying it. All right, I got filled. So let's see how this rolls. I'm not afraid to see $100 loss. Usually not afraid to see a $200 loss, to be honest. All right. Let's see. We made a fair value gap right there. I'm going to buy two. Leave it. You see why I did it, right? We had a change of character. We did VWAP. We're probably going to go back and test VWAP, which is fine. My stop's well below that. Chances are we're not coming back into that area for a little bit. I'm looking to sell one right there and let the other one run.
But we are in a trade. Now you just sit and just watercolor or something. You know what I mean? Or listen to Patrick Whelan just bash Top Step repeatedly. It's hilarious. I'm getting a little bit of bearish activity saying, nope, you're not going up, bro. But the bulls, you see how my optional sensitivity changed? I gotta figure out what that means because that's significant. Still says we're ranging, but it's a 20% range. Squeezing, but it's a 98% squeeze. Volume sentiment still towards the bearish side, but it went from 11 to 6. So everything's pointing that we're moving out of a bearish trend into a bullish trend. And we broke a very, very strong formation, and we just created another fair value gap. All right, so I got filled on one. So there's what? I made 100, no. So I'm 375 up on the day. That was about a $300 trade right there. Easy peasy, man. And look why I took it out. You see what happened at that line right there? How we rejected right off of it? Now what I'm going to do is move my stop up to profitability, just $5. It might take me out, but hell, it'll put me at $200 up and we'll get back in a minute. There you go. Don't lose any money the market gives you. Market gave me that. I took it. I'll wait for this little, it's going to dip. That's just the people selling off at this gap, right? They didn't fill that gap all the way, by the way. I don't know why it didn't take that out, but we still have our line. So we're still going to go do some damage. I would like to see this come down and hit right here, possibly take a position there or a position here, but we have a massive fair value gap right here that we could go back down into and just have to take it. But I mean, $220, $220. You can't make that. I mean, some people make that all day at work. So, not to mention I was 400 down starting because I made a stupid decision. All right, so oof. I really, 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 really thought that we were going to go down a little bit, but we did not. So I'm about to market buy this some gun. Let it limit it. Hopefully it comes down and hit my limit. And then I'm going to go up to right here. Yep, that's where I want to be. I might have to market buy this. I'm not going to let it go too much further. I mean, this is an obvious bullish trend. I'm hoping that it gets a little bit of drawback, but the bulls have taken over. Ugh. All right, you got me. I know this is going to reverse in a second. I don't want to get crazy. I would have made a lot more if I would have just stayed in. But I'm not about like maxing out my profits on the day. I'm about keeping my account growth in the positive and always making sure that I don't make dumb decisions that um, will lose my money. That's why I moved my stop up to a positive $5. And there you go. Exactly what I thought. We're dropping down. Um, Probably should have left my entry there, but I'm a little bit nervous that we should go down and fill some of these gaps before we move back up. The Bears will try to test this also. They're going to try to test this change of character sitting right here. They're not going to let it go. These guys that just bought are selling off You got a lot of sell-off right here because we busted out of a trend. Retail gets scared. They're dropping. And so that's what you're seeing this drop for right now. It's just a little bit of panic on the retail end. Just like what, I mean, you saw my panic, right? I knew where to get out. I knew that this was a dangerous area um, because we had a strat signal here that took, I mean, major profit. Protect your winners. Don't let the market take anything back from your winners. I know I lost a good $135 just by moving that up into profit, but I was trying to have a runner to at least go up to this previous day high. Um, let me look at the daily real quick. Yeah, we're going to break that previous day high. And don't pay attention to what the daily says on the previous day high. The 2 minute is more accurate. There we go. Totally right. We're going to go fill those gaps. They're going to test this again. And because, I mean, you got to think about this. The Bears have lost for at least a little bit, unless they're taking a major liquidity grab. And they're going to come back and test VWAP. They're going to test this change of character. The market's going to fill these gaps because the market hates gaps. It could even come down to this line right here, back into the broadening wedge formation, because we didn't beat this high. The Bears said, hell no. They took advantage of retail selling out right here and made the market move. Now look at our volume sentiment. It's turned bullish. You see how our volume sentiment was a negative 11. We went all the way up 12 points on our volume sentiment. This sometimes is a good place to get in right here. Um, I'm looking for this to be a 1. It's not now. It turned into a 2. So if that would have turned into a 1, I would have put a little signal right here or a little entry right here to let it go up. But here we go. Here's the Bears test. They're filling the gaps. They're going to test. Exactly like we said they were going to. Some of this is just knowing price action and having the screen time. You have to dedicate yourself to the screen time. Yeah, no problem. Axe, man, it's first time in probably a year I've traded live. But that was for you guys, man. I felt like, I started the server. It was a paid Discord at first because I was doing options, and then several people talked me into trading futures, and I just wasn't having the futures trading experience that I had, and so yeah, yep, he's gone. That dude has to work. All right, so just going down. We're gonna drop. We're gonna test VWAP. We're gonna test our trend tracer, and you can see how shitty this signal was, right? So this is a good one, maybe, but it probably gave you the signal here instead of like way up here. So let's see. I want to take those signals out. They don't mean anything. Oh, it's got to be in some kind of take profit thing. Trigger. I don't know. I'll figure this out later. I don't want to distract you guys. I haven't really seen anything on the Fibonacci. Like, it says that there's Fibonacci stuff in here, but I've not seen that. And look at that. We failed VWAP. The bears actually pushed impulsively below VWAP. Going to fill that fair value gap, just like I said. I didn't think it would actually fill that one. I thought it would fill the first two, but I didn't think it would fill the this third large one. I thought that the bulls were too strong. I'm glad I got out. Glad I played that the way it should have been played. Um, because, right, I would have been a losing trader right now if I would have done that. Now, we got two really strong areas of confluence right here. You see this and you see this. Like, this is going to come down, probably going to hit right here. You're going to see this trend. We're going to get into this liquidity grab where they got earlier, and there's two of them. They didn't color this one, but you might as well call that a liquidity grab from these lows. But this definitely was a liquidity grab from that low. Now, I would expect if the bears are going to try to do this, they would liquidity grab from here. Look at how we bounce off the broadening formation, or symmetrical triangle, sorry. This is not a broadening formation. Notice how it doesn't close the fair value gap unless the body of the candle closes it completely. That's something that I'm starting to see. I don't understand clearly why it does that yet. Like, but this is a very strong signal that we're probably going to try to go above VWAP again. We made a higher high, oh well, a lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low so far. Always looking at that pattern specifically. Like now, this strong high, which is at 90%, because Chinno, he was on here earlier. This was a 90% strength, and it's now 48. And now our low has gotten stronger. Like, so, but it's still very 50-50. I like the action right here. I like this action. I like what I see from the bulls. Um, yep, there we go above VWAP again. I am going to buy right about there. I'm going to sell right about here. I think we're going to get an impulse move right here. This is more of a strat move. This doesn't have anything to do with the, I mean, we are busting out of this asymmetrical triangle again, but this is more about strat for me right now. And I will close this out if we get anywhere near right there. Anywhere near. I don't mind losing a couple, like $100, but I want to see this bust out. I want to see it just a higher high, a nice impulsed higher high. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. You see how we hit the equilibrium of this fair value gap, like right on the ticker. So there we go. Let's fill some stuff. We want to fill. Go Bulls, go. Now, I didn't really pay attention to this equilibrium. I wish I kind of would have done that a little bit better. Um, I'm glad I'm only in one contract because I'd like to be above that equilibrium before I would have gotten to the trade. Maybe that second bar above there, taking it out. But there's gaps, so But the equilibrium does mean a lot. We have several bounces off the equilibrium. I'm not going to secure my profit yet. And once I get up to 200, I'll move myself up to break even. Notice I don't have a stop loss because I'm going to do a manual stop loss on this one. Nah, I'm going to definitely put a stop loss in actually, right there. It's only 70, what, 95 bucks. It's a good stop loss. I just feel like when I put my stop loss in, they always come back and hit it somehow. It's like a superstition thing for me. There we go. Come on, baby. That was a good, nice little trap of some bears. So they should push this up now. They trapped the bears right there. And look, all I did was put it like one tick below the actual previous candle, right? I mean, nothing special. I mean, just put it one tick below the previous candle. Yeah, I do steps. I set stop loss for sure. Like I think you've seen me do it on every trade so far. Um, but I do wait to see. Uh, I know where my stop loss is going to be when I set the trade, so I'll manually hit that sum gun if I don't have it set because trading view, all you do is just flatten and everything goes away. Having a little bit of struggle here. This is an undecided candle for sure. I don't like that candle like that, but if I want to see price action break above right there, and if it does, man, this thing is gonna go. I think my dog just like I don't know what that was. All right, come on, break that high right there. That's what. There we go. All right, I feel a lot better now. Get through the equilibrium. Once we get to 200, I'll set my stop loss up to the at least some kind of profitability to cover my contracts, right? Cover my round trip. Don't like the price action actually yet. It's very kind of stopped in the middle of that fair value gap. So the bears are definitely protecting that. And this is not a prop firm account, guys. This is my actual money that I make, you know, in the market. So it makes me very nervous trading this live, but um, I got to get over that. I really want to everybody to become successful traders, but I'm sweating bullets over here. I always, when I trade live, I sweat like a pig. And Chen, always, yes, always Set your stop loss for sure, bro. Always. Because I've had it where sometimes back in the day when I was learning how to trade, I was like, oh man, I didn't set my stop loss. And then all of a sudden the market just dumped. Like seriously, and I'm talking like $1,000 dump. And that's how like the prop firm accounts sometimes get blown is when those $1,000 dump hits, you're already maybe $1,000 down on the day. And if you're in an MFFU account, what I like is that they don't let you go below $1,250 per day. So if you lose $1,250, they say, hey, you're going to wait until tomorrow to lose the rest, which is really cool. I think that's very respectable of them. Not many prop firms do that. They don't care how much you lose. They want you to lose as much as possible. So they don't have any activation fees. So I don't pay anything when I pass an account. Pay $100. I pay $101 on my Starter Plus account, and no activation fees whatsoever. So guys, you can see like we took that liquidity, we're filling a fair value gap. Um, I think we're going to hit that 410. We got to get past that one area right there. Get above the equilibrium, probably retest it, but we definitely have to get through that one red line. Probably won't happen this candle. I would suggest it's going to be on the next candle. But this candle looks strong. I mean, volume's not great. There we go. We tried to bust it. Didn't bust it all the way because the candle body's not through it yet. I mean, the whole purpose of this video is just to show kind of how easier it makes, trading. Even with the strat, it makes it easier to trade um, using this methodology. Oh, I forgot to put my break profit. Just I want to make sure that I capture my round trip just in case this goes south on me. And trades go south, man. Like but make sure you protect your contract, at least your contract price. I think it's like $7. So I typically do five. That's why you saw me put five on it earlier. It's just five or 10. It evens out in the long run, honestly. Oh, oh, look at what we did here. Now they're saying we have a symmetrical triangle here. Moved it up a little bit because it higher high. So let's see if we bust out of this. I don't. I think that's a bad signal. Um, but I actually really trust this this thing. I'm gonna move this down to like right here. And then if we bust out of the symmetrical triangle again, I'll probably take two contracts up to that previous daily high. I mean, we're moving pretty good. Okay, so we're at 200. There's my $10. Captured my round trip. Not gonna lose any money on this trade now. I'm up to 410 on the day. I hate Trading Views DOM. I heard they're going to do some things to fix it, which would be cool. The Trading Views DOM sucks. Their bracket ordering sucks too, actually. That's why I'm glad that um, AMP put in just bracketing where I can do it the way I want to. All right, so we should be killing that red line here. Oh, that was a big drop. That was a one of the retail bigger sellers selling their piece. That wasn't institutional, but that was a big retail trader, probably like a Patrick Whelan.
uh, selling off right there. Let's see if the market holds. And people joined them, obviously. So I also see that this could be the same pattern that we just had right here. The market is repetitive and fractal. All right, man, we're looking good. We are looking good. I am going to move this up, and I will manually flatten this um, if it looks any different. In fact, I'm going to now put my stop loss up to right here so I can at least take $135, $120 in profit no matter what. And we're going to keep riding it like that, man. We're going to follow it like exactly like what it's doing. I see where I want to move this potentially if we get close to just looking like we're going to kill it. Now you can see we're ranging zero. Volatility is still low because it's lunchtime. All right, I'm seeing a big pullback right there. I want to, this is my last candle if this doesn't start to move higher. I'm going to capture that 240. I'm not going to let it go away. 11 seconds left. I want to see a big push here at the end. Big push, big push, big push. Bulls are still in control. I want to see a big push at the start of this. I don't want any drawback down right here. This should be a big push. The Bulls are really trying to break out. Let's get a breakout. Let's not just fuck around. Take more profit. Kind of silly, but $15 is $15, man. That's 2 round trips on NQ. All right. I don't like that. I did not like that pulse. Come on. Got a lot of people selling right now, but it seems like the the institutions are trying to trap them. This looks like a trap play to me. Like, hey, we're gonna start going down now. Make sure you get your sell orders in, and then they push it right back up, like huge impulse back up. That's institutional, man. That's not retail pushing that. Thanks, bro. I told you guys I've gotten better. I'm starting to understand this futures market so much better. I'm sliding this up, sliding it up. I'm at 555 on the day. I mean, I like to make about a grand. Um, it's more than my day job. Look at this trade, guys. Look at this trade. What if I'd have had two contracts? Goodness. But do what you feel comfortable with. I didn't feel comfortable with two contracts because we were ranging, right? It still says we're ranging. But this squeeze is dying off. I don't know what the hell this volume sentiment's now meaning because this thing is going nuts. Now guess where I'm gonna move my stop loss to? I've captured $405 no matter what. I'm right below the breaker structure, right? That's where you want to be, right? And so if anything happens there, that's a change of character on the market. We're actually changing the structure of the market. But I told you I want to hit that previous day high. If I hit that previous day high, guys, I mean that's a significant day for me. I'm already at $815 profit. I'm gonna have everybody buying the LuxAlgo subscription now. I need to I need to partner with them. Just kidding. I would never partner with any fucking of those guys. I just don't like any of them. But I saw this on Patrick Whelan and I really liked it, and I was like, man, I could use this. This is something that makes sense to me. Also, they have a chat GPT like thing where you can like type in like you're asking chat GPT a question, but it's just about the market. Like, hey, I want a strategy within a 5 minute time frame that's high, I can't remember what I typed in yesterday, but basically a high velocity. I'm going to take a high amount of trades and I want it to have a 60% win rate. And I want you to back test that over 3 months, the past 3 months, and tell me what I get. And so I did that and it gave me a whole strategy. Of course, I'm not using it, I have my own strategy. I just wanted to see how it would work because I want to be informative on the tools I use. Oh my goodness. I'm so stupid for not taking two, but whatever. We're going to the previous day high, guys. We have really changed market structure completely now. Now we could sell off right here. Don't get me wrong. This is a great place to sell off. So I joke, man. I'm going to, man, I don't want to move it there yet. I really don't. I want to give this trade some breathing room. If I would have moved it right there, I would have got stopped out. So I want this trade to have a little bit of breathing room. I mean, just because we're popping out of the squeeze. Remember that we were at 100% squeeze? We've totally popped out of that. Shit, I might have to put this video on YouTube. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. Goodness gracious. I called that previous day high, didn't I? 950 on the day right now, 735 in this individual trade. I am gonna move it under this fair value gap. And remember, dude, I'm trading on a 2 minute chart, but it doesn't feel like a 2 minute chart with me with this indicator. I would never trade on a 2 minute chart ever in my life without this indicator. But like the 2 minute chart with this indicator, it works like a champ. And it kind of gives me the movement that I like to see, right? It validates everything very quickly. You still want to see impulses here. I mean, goodness gracious, I can't believe how once we broke out that triangle, bro, we went crazy. And we're always going to dip back in because people are going to sell. They're going to sell. They're we've gotten above this. The bears could be wanting, I mean, we're still bearish. We're still bearish. We haven't broke that. So the bears might want to just grab all this damn liquidity, dead count, bounce this thing, man. But the bulls have said some institution has decided that they're going to at least go up. Okay, we got a little bit of movement to the downside. We just want to not see very much more, or I'm just going to pop it out and be done because I'm almost to my $1,000 day. Nope, there goes the impulse. All right, what we going to do? We're going to have to make a decision up here at this previous day high because I don't get out of a trade that keeps giving me money. I think a lot of people do. They'll say, "Oh, that's my take profit. That's exactly where I had my take profit." No, man, you have to read the market. You have to read what the market's doing. And right now, the market is booming. Yep, over 1,000 for the day. So there's my daily goal in cash, baby.
I'm gonna be at almost $6,000 when this trade's over from a $3,000 account that I've already took 2,000 out of. All right, I'm sliding this up. There's no doubt. Yep, we're gonna let it keep going. I wish I would have had two contracts on this son bitch. Probably been my biggest live futures trade for sure. Now, if I see any like crazy type rejection up here, I'm just gonna manually shut this down. Right? I don't. Once we get above this previous day high, it's gonna become my stop loss. Right? Because that was my goal. Like anything after that's just why even worry about it? If you can't live off $1,000 a day, then something's wrong with you. And I still work, so you know I'm always gonna work. I love my job. Plus, I never want to pay for health care, like straight out of pocket. It's a horrible business. All right, we're getting that previous day high is getting tough on us. So let's just go ahead and get out. 955.